When I killed my first victim, I was 14 years old. When I killed my 100th victim, I was in prison, the king of a 200-man cell block. Look, now I'm going to tell you something very strange. In the Brazilian prison system, my name meant justice. Yes, you heard that right. I was a serial killer who murdered more than 100 people, but prisoners saw me as a guardian angel because I only killed criminals. Wait, you're probably saying now, but aren't you already a criminal? Right? That's exactly where the story begins. 1973. The iron gates of Carandiru prison slammed shut loudly in front of me. The sound of metal scraping against metal. I still hear that sound sometimes. I was 19 years old, and I had already committed 47 murders outside. As the police handed me over, they said this to the warden. Watch this kid carefully. He wiped everyone out on the outside. I will never forget the first night. A 200-man cell, darkness, the smell of dampness and sweat everywhere, the creaking of bunk beds, and so many eyes, all watching me, the new rookie. But I wasn't a rookie. That night, 3 people approached me. The leader was a child rapist. The others were rapists and woman killers. They said to me, "There are rules here. You will follow them." I just smiled. By morning, all 3 were lying in the corner of the cell, covered in blood, and as I washed my hands, I saw the expressions on the other prisoners' faces. It wasn't fear, it was gratitude. Now let me ask you something. Do you trust the state's justice? In 1970, Brazil, there was a military dictatorship. Outside, the government was killing dissidents. Inside, prisons were hell. Child rapists, women murderers, gang leaders protected by the police, all in the same prison. And the system protected them because some of them provided information. I didn't protect them. In my first month, I killed 4 more people. All of them were rapists. The warden threw me into a cell. 30 days in darkness, completely alone. But when I came out, the cell block had changed. Prisoners were now calling me Pedrinho Matador, Little Killer Pedro, and a list was waiting for me. An old prisoner came up to me, a piece of paper in his hand. "These men raped children," he said. But because there wasn't enough evidence, they're only serving time for theft. The system released them back onto the streets. Then they were caught again. I looked at the list. 7 names. "And how do you know this?" I asked. "My daughter," he said. His voice broke. "One of them." He didn't need to say anything more. That week, 5 of the 7 names were killed in the cell block. The other 2 were transferred to another block, but I had friends there too. Have you ever thought about this? Who is the most powerful man in a prison? The most muscular one? The oldest one? The one with the most men? No. The most powerful man is the one who is not afraid of death. And I wasn't afraid of death because I was already not living. I died at 14, the day I learned what my father had done. That's why no one could touch me. In 3 years at Carandiru, I killed 41 prisoners. That's the official number. The real number is higher because some were recorded as suicides. I did what the system wanted me to do, but in a way no one talked about. My rules were simple. Rule 1. Anyone who touches children dies. Rule 2. Anyone who rapes women dies. Rule 3. Anyone who betrays dies. Rule 4. Anyone who kills innocent people dies. You might shout, "But you kill too." You're right, but I wasn't killing innocents. I was only killing other monsters. And 180 of the 195 prisoners in the cell block supported me. 1984. Transfer. My father was also in another prison. Yes, that man. The man who beat me and my mother, who killed my pregnant girlfriend. 12 years later, they transferred him to the prison where I was held. I had waited a very long time for this moment. The yard, the sun overhead. About 50 people around, but I saw only him. He had aged, wrinkled, but that look was the same. He saw me. He smiled. "Pedro, my son," he said. "We're finally in the same place." I walked up to him, put my arm around his shoulder. "Father," I said, "I have something to show you." I took him to the toilet block. There, I stabbed him 22 times, but I didn't finish it right away. I didn't let him die. I asked him, "Do you remember beating my mother? Do you remember killing Maria?" With every answer, I stabbed him once more. Then, yes, I took out his heart. I bit into it. When people hear this, they say, "Monster." But I can't describe what I felt at that moment. Was it hatred? Revenge? Or maybe it was just ending it. Ending that nightmare forever. When the guards arrived, my hands were still bloody. They threw me to the ground. Batons rained down on my back, but I didn't feel the pain. Because I was finally free. Now you're probably thinking, this man was a psychopath. The prison should have stopped him. But here's the thing. The system didn't want to stop me. The wardens knew what I was doing. The guards knew. But there was a balance in the prison. Rapists and low-life criminals were dying. The other prisoners stayed disciplined. No one harassed the guards, because everyone knew if you did something wrong, you wouldn't answer to the guards. You would answer to me. Over 34 years, I killed 71 prisoners, according to official records. But I also harmed 0 guards. I participated in 0 riots. I was a system inside the system, working against it. And the craziest part? Some families sent me thank you letters. "The man who raped our daughter is dead. May God bless you," they wrote. I, the man who committed 100 murders, had become a hero to families. What is this place? Hell or heaven? For me, prison was both. 2007, released after 34 years. When the court decision came, I was shocked. I was treated as a well-behaved prisoner. The system no longer needed me because the new generation of gangs was under control. When I got out, the world had changed. There was the internet. There were mobile phones. And I was still a man stuck in 1973. I opened a YouTube channel. People wanted to hear my story, despairing 40,000 subscribers. In the comments, they called me a hero, a warrior of justice. But there was one comment that always stayed with me. "Pedro, you say you've changed, but what do the families of the dead say?" I was never able to answer that question. 2023. Sao Paulo. Someone I knew was waiting for me in the shadows. I couldn't see his face, but I recognized his voice. A former prisoner. "Pedro," he said, "you once gave me justice. Now someone is going to give justice to you." He pulled out a gun. "Who sent you?" I asked. "Does it matter? You killed 100 people. You carry the anger of 100 families." My last thought was this: maybe I was never a judge. Maybe I was just the next victim. And maybe, now I ask you, was Pedro Rodrigues Filho a hero or a monster? Is killing other criminals inside prison justice or just another murder? And most importantly, if you were in that prison, would you support Pedro or stand against him? Write your answer in the comments. Because this story is not just Pedro's story, it is the story of what madmen do where the justice system collapses. And you, what would you do? 2023. Sao Paulo. Someone I knew was waiting for me in the shadows. I couldn't see his face, but I recognized his voice. A former prisoner. "Pedro," he said, "you once gave me justice. Now someone is going to give justice to you." He pulled out a gun. Who sent you? I asked. Does it matter? You killed 100 people. You carry the anger of 100 families. My last thought was this: maybe I was never a judge. Maybe I was just the next victim. And maybe, now I ask you, was Pedro Rodrigues Filho a hero or a monster? Is killing other criminals inside prison justice or just another murder? And most importantly, if you were in that prison, would you support Pedro or stand against him? Write your answer in the comments. Because this story is not just Pedro's story, it is the story of what madmen do where the justice system collapses. And you, what would you do?